I am a much larger proponent of larger risks and larger rewards. If you want to learn about self-help, if you want to understand yourself and see what kind of man you really are and learn how to fight through adversity and learn how to get up when life's difficult and learn how to control your mind and learn how to struggle, then you can go to the boxing gym and you can get your ass kicked. You do not need to read any books. You need to get in the gym, walk in there and say, I'm going to fight the best fighter here every single day and not quit until you can eventually beat him. But most people are not man enough for that. So instead they'll read a self-help book and they'll sit there and try and talk to me about mindset. I learned my mindset in battle. My mindset is 87 professional fights. My mindset was learned in the reality of the real world. I don't need to read a self-help book. I don't need to read about motivation or confidence. I've been in the cage smashing people's faces in. I don't need to learn any of that stuff. So I learn in reality, and reality is always gonna be a better teacher than a book, because you're not learning when you read books. You're regurgitating, you may be reading, but I don't believe you're truly learning. My coach used to say, if it doesn't hurt, you didn't learn. And I think he's completely right. And it's the same with entire life. You see people make the same mistake over and over again until it eventually goes really wrong. And it's only then they'll change.
Then they change.
So absolutely. So I learned how to become self-disciplined and become self-motivated and work hard, and I learned how to face adversity and find strength within myself I didn't know I had, because people were trying to kill me inside of a cage, and you cannot replicate that by reading pages of a book. So it's a waste of time.
You don't need to read about other people's experiences because you have enough of your own.
Absolutely. And so I'll actually say here right now, I'm a massive anti-reader. I think it's a mistake. I think as a young man, if you want to get your life better, the most important thing you have are your waking hours. You need to be out competing all the other people on the planet who are hyper competitive. And if you think you have 8 hours to sit there and just read a book, you are wasting your time. You are too slow, and you are going to lose against people like me, because we're just too quick, too fast. Our networks are too various and large, and we make decisions too quickly, and we absorb information too quickly, and you're just behind the time.
By the time you're done reading the book, the moves have been made.
But it's over, Game's over.
But I think one good thing about reading books, especially now, especially what you were saying, is because like you said, attention spans are like this these days. When you read a book, you kind of learn to train yourself to like take information a bit slowly. It kind of helps your focus a bit more.
That's true, and we certainly have an attention span problem. Even I have it myself to a degree, but I think that's just the way the world is moving. I think you need to get ADHD, and you need to learn to control it within certain paradigms. You need to be able to sit and say, yes, I struggle to focus on this one particular video, for example, but as a whole, I can keep my focus within the parameters of work, whether I'm watching this video and talking on Telegram and replying to this email and reading this, just do it all at once. I mean, that's what I do. I've had people come into my office and say, are you on a phone call and playing chess and reading a web page at the same time? I'm like, yes. I'll be reading what I need to read and on the phone and at the same time playing chess. Otherwise, my brain's not full enough.
You need to be stimulated.
So can I focus on one thing? Not easily, but am I massively successful doing enormous amounts of work? Yes, every single day. So
that's the most important thing.
It's just staying within the parameters of constructive. If what you're doing with your energy is constructive and you're within those parameters, then you're going to be massively successful anyway.
That's basically true. And about your confidence, is that also from these experiences, or how does one like become this confident? And especially another thing is, you seem like you really love yourself, and which is a good thing. But how does someone go about loving themselves?
I'm proud of myself, and I deserve to be. Most people don't deserve to be proud of themselves, and that's the truth. A lot of people say, I have confidence issues, and I say, if I was you, I would have confidence issues. Of course, I completely understand why you have confidence issues. You're a dork. But we have to be realistic here. We have to be absolutely and utterly realistic, because the world is brutal and it's harsh. If you're not proud of yourself, you probably don't deserve to be proud of yourself, so you're not going to feel happy. And you just talked about confidence. Confidence comes from competence. The reason I'm confident is because I'm good at everything. I'm good at everything I do. The things I'm not good at, I'm not confident in, of course, and I know what they are. I don't do them very often. I've now created my reality to the point where I don't do anything I'm not good at.
You just hire.
I either hire or I just don't want to do it. Like I don't play darts. I'm not good at darts, right? I do what I'm good at. So I'm absolutely and utterly confident because I'm absolutely and utterly competent, and that takes practice and discipline and motivation, and you need to fail a few times. You need to get up, and like I said earlier, when I learned my entire mindset in professional fighting and chess, the two combined, that's how it comes down to. And when people say, I have confidence issues, usually I can look them up and down and say, if I was you, I would completely and utterly struggle with confidence issues. because the world is competitive, and there's men like me on the planet and friends like mine on the planet, and you're competing against us for money, for girls, for status, for resource, and you're going to be destroyed and decimated the entire time. So of course you have confidence issues when you can be annihilated in real time by the competitor. Why wouldn't you have confidence issues? You'd be psychopathic not to.
Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe that unconfidence is a good motivation for them to actually.
Well, it's supposed to be. Yeah. This is the thing that I don't truly understand. If I'm unhappy with something and I'm uncomfortable with something, I fix it.
Yeah.
That's endless motivation, which I don't truly believe in as a concept, but that's endless fuel for the fire.
Right.
If I was unhappy with something about myself, regardless of what it was, I would be able to take all of that discomfort and turn it into endless energy to get the problem fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
But these people seem to
It's okay to be unhappy.
Yeah, well, these people seem to sit and say, I'm really unhappy with X, but then stay doing X. So I don't believe they're truly actually unhappy. What you'll notice if you live life long enough is that somebody will sit and say to you, I'm unhappy being a loser. You say, why are you a loser? I just sit at home and play video games 7 days a week. And you're like, okay. And maybe 3 days of the week they're unhappy doing that. And that's the time they email you, and that's the time they want to make a change. But 4 days of the week, they don't really, it doesn't really bother them.
Yeah,
it doesn't really bother them. Because if it bothered them 7 days a week, guess what?
They would fix it.
Correct. Yeah. So I have very little sympathy for people. And that's not because I'm not a nice person, but it's because I've been so hard on myself, and I've been through so many things that were difficult, and I've been through so much pain and trauma myself, some of it self-inflicted, some of it given to me by God to make me a better person. But I've been so difficult on myself. It's very hard for me to look at somebody who's refused to be difficult on themselves and see them as my equal or feel sympathy or pity for them. Why would I feel pity for somebody who took the easy route when I took the hardest possible route? I took the hardest possible way to be the man I am, and you were too big of a and now you want me to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for these people. And because as a man, you can be anything you decide you want to be. That's the beauty of being a male. You can build your character completely from the ground up, just like a video game. Every single thing about me that people respect, I built. I was not born a world champion kickboxer. I was not born this intelligent or intellectual. I was not born this rich. I was not born this strong. I was not born this confident. I was not born this interesting. I was not born this charismatic and humble and gorgeous and tall and strong and sexy. I was not born none of these things. I became these things myself, so I deserve all the spoils of war. And anybody who decides they don't want to work hard enough to become those things, then they deserve to sit and accept they're my inferior. That's their problem.
Yeah, basically.
That's their problem.
But have you struggled with any mental health issues yourself? Because one thing also I noticed about you, from one side when you talk, you seem like very positive about life. But I've seen clips of you where you say like, sometimes I feel you say enjoy everything and always be happy, or like always be like positive. But then in some parts of you say like, I was angry when I was broke. I had to get rich.
Yeah,
I needed to get rich. I was furious.
Well, I couldn't sleep when I was broke, and this is where we're talking about the being uncomfortable and how it can motivate you. When I didn't have enough money to buy whatever I wanted, I couldn't fall asleep at night. Because I understood there are people out there that did, and I didn't see them as better than me. And I thought, why are these people who I don't see as my superior living an experience that I can't live? And it bothered me to the point where I could not sleep. So yeah, that was real. When you talk about suffering mentally, I don't really consider that suffering. I have had a very painful life. I still think to a degree I do, but that's self-inflicted. But I can't imagine living any other way. I can't imagine living in this idea, this utopian, every day, just, girls, drink, hedonism. I don't want that. Yeah, it's degenerate. I think the only thing you can do that's not degenerate is usually be fighting a battle or solving a problem.
Growth.
Yeah, growth. Yeah, so you need to either fight a battle or solve a problem to avoid degeneracy, which means I'm constantly looking for them. I'm currently in one of the largest battles a man can possibly take on. I'm taking on the Matrix, the most powerful people on the planet.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. Is my life difficult? Yeah. Am I complaining about that? No. In fact, I'd hate it for it to be any other way.
Yeah. No, you're right. Honestly, you talk about the Matrix a lot. Has the Matrix ever contacted you directly? Have you ever got any contact from them, or you can't say?
I've had a couple experiences which have certainly been strange.
Oh, can you talk about it, or you prefer not to?
I've had some invites to some strange places with some strange people. I've had some anonymous messages which I verified to be true, which were scary, I guess you could say. I've definitely been contacted by the Matrix in and of itself. But initially, when they speak to you, they try to make you change sides.
Mm-hmm. That's try to switch you.
Well, they try and get a degree of leverage over you, or they try and bribe you, or they try and get you to sell your soul.
Yeah.
So they'll try and invite you to a party where you do some degeneracy and they get it on video, or they try and get a threat against you and try and blackmail you, or they try and offer you a whole ton of money for this contract, but you have to be careful what you say now. And they try very hard initially to get you
without violence.
Yeah, without violence. They try with degeneracy. That's what they try, and that's
distractions.
Yeah, well, you know, most people's hearts and souls can be bought. So when they can print unlimited money, why would they go the route of violence? They can just print unlimited money and give it to somebody and own them.